What's up, everybody? This is Zach with the Nerd Cave Podcast for episode 246, I guess.
We should have. We've been talking for like 30 minutes.
I think it's 246. I really do think it's 246.
We'll go with it, and if we need to, we'll just correct.
Yeah. I'm joined along with none other than himself, the Bearded Sultan,
Robbie Rawls.
Everybody, before we get into the pleasantries, the show itself, we apologize for not having an episode last week.
There was just a bunch of
scheduling
out
conflicts.
of town.
We apologize. We're back on schedule. It won't happen again, or we'll murder one of the people on the show.
Yeah,
like on the show,
and we'll film it. YouTube might block it.
Well, maybe we'll get famous like Logan Paul.
Don't mention that name. I cannot stand him.
I can't either. So, speaking
of YouTube banning things, or
sure, go ahead.
Because of the whole country and gun debacle, did you hear all the content for like how-to gun stuff has been banned on YouTube?
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah. What's really funny is a lot of the bigger gun enthusiasts on YouTube have now taken up to Pornhub to post their videos.
Why don't they do it on Twitch or Facebook?
I don't know, but there was a whole article about how they're switching over to Pornhub. So,
my Lord.
I mean, and I really don't, it's a touchy subject, I know.
Yeah.
But, I just don't understand why, I guess YouTube is having such bad PR with the whole Logan Paul thing with the, it wasn't Markiplier, it was Nazi gamer guy made the Nazi joke.
Oh, PewDiePie.
PewDiePie, you know, they're trying to get ahead of this, and they're like, "Oh, we're banning all guns." Da, da, da.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what their stance is. I'm sure it is, anti-gun. It's most creators are very liberal. Nothing wrong with that.
No.
I think that's where a lot of it stems from. And they don't want to get sued. They don't want more of their supporters and everything to pull out from the company, advertisers and all of that. They definitely don't want negative media attention. So it's a sign of the times, I guess.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I don't watch gun videos on YouTube.
I don't either, but, it caters to a lot of America. I can't tell you how many times, I've walked in and seen Jacob watching something, like he got a new gun and he wants to see the specs, or Hunter's got a new gun and wants to check out the specs, so they go to YouTube. Because, the one thing that...
Daily Motion, here we go.
with YouTube, if you want to, you have a hole in your wall. If you want to fix that hole in the wall,
you go to YouTube.
You go to YouTube. If
second most used search engine in the world to Google.
Something goes on with your car, and you're like, okay, I need to know how to replace the radiator.
You need to learn how to snake a drain? YouTube. That's what I did. I learned how to snake drains.
If there's something going on with your gun, and you need to know how to fix it, YouTube was the answer.
Yeah, no longer.
But like I said, I guess it is a sign of the time, and because of all the bad gun publicity or press, whatever you want to say, I guess YouTube is cracking down on it. So
yeah, I'm curious to see
the fallout of this. If there's going to be bad, I'm sure the people in the South will probably say a few things.
Yeah,
that are the gun enthusiasts.
Yeah. Now, speaking of YouTube or video services, did you see the whole Ninja Drake thing happening over on Twitch with Fortnite?
Oh my gosh! You broke the record.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big thing, because with us in this area, we've heard the name Ninja. I've never
watched him. I didn't know who he was, to be 100% honest.
I just knew him I see him all the time on my news feed because of Fortnite and PUBG. But I had heard that Drake and a few other rappers were playing. I was like, I didn't ever watch it, but I was looking.
Yeah.
He makes over $350,000 a month.
500,000.
Well, I'm just saying that's just with
Is that what he clears?
No, that's just what, like, not including, YouTube and
You're talking
all
about
the,
Ninja.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, all together, like with Twitch, YouTube, donations, and all that stuff, he clears 500.
Man, that's crazy. And like, it goes to show that, like, there are platforms out there. There's people wanting to watch all of this. But the thing that I wanted to get to, since I get to mention that, I get to mention some of your favorite people. Logan Paul and Jake Paul have created a Twitch channel, and within like the first night, they had like 100,000 subs and all of that.
Oh yeah.
They said that they donated $200,000 to Ninja, and I'm not sure. I've seen stuff that might be fake. That they've done that.
Oh, they said they did, but they really didn't?
I don't know. That's what I've heard. I've seen reports and all of that. But it's just like you see these very toxic people jumping to a new platform, a very, very vibrant platform, which has had this problems with toxic people. That's one thing that I like about Facebook Live the most, is because you can't hide who you are on Facebook. It makes it so much nicer. And you don't deal with a lot of trolls that you would on YouTube or
Twitch.
Especially Twitch. Twitch is the worst, I think.
Of trolls.
With the trolling and everything. But yeah, they've jumped over there, created that and everything, and haven't even streamed once yet. And I'm just like,
why do it then?
That I'm sure they will, but like jumping over there and just being able to
instantly
have whatever you want. I'm just like,
it's just, I mean, it carries over. Like, it's the name.
Yeah, it's the name and everything. But it's, if I was Twitch, I'd be like, I don't want you on my platform.
Oh, yeah. After what you did on YouTube.
Yeah.
Nah, bro, we good.
Yeah, that's how I would be and everything. Yeah. It's very curious. I'm curious to see what happens down the road on all of that.
I'll have to keep an eye out on Twitch for that, just to see what's going on with it.
Now, watched a video of a show that we used to grow up on. Also, now a comic. Shattered Dimensions, is that what it's called?
Shattered Grid.
There you go, Shattered Dimensions.
Power Rangers
Shattered Dimensions is a Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
I was about to say, that does sound very familiar.
Very good one. I love the noir Spider-Man. But anyway, Shattered Dimensions.
Shattered Grid.
Shattered Grid should have been Dimensions. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Power Rangers.
they missed a great opportunity.
Missed the mark.
I mean, the comic comes out on the 28th of March, and
so it hasn't come out once. Like, is there?
Well, this is the forward iteration of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So there's, run 1, 2, 3. This is the 4th run.
So has an issue of this arc came out?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Like, this is all.
And they've been building this thing up for months.
Yeah. They've had the king of Power Rangers himself, Jason David Frank, which you can see his interview over on the Nerd Cave on YouTube. But like, I saw it and I'm like, this is what every Power Rangers fan has ever wanted. Wished it was in a show or a movie.
Man, if they made that into a show, that would be one of the best ones.
Because you have Lord Draconis, as he's calling himself, coming into a whole nother dimension.
A whole new world, some people would say.
Yeah, with shining, shimmering splendor all around. And, he's seeing all these Power Rangers, like all the way from original Speed Force.
Now, he's coming from a dimension that's not ours into ours, right?
Yes.
So he's not our Tommy.
He's not our Tommy. Like, there will be a Tommy face-off, I'm sure.
How about a Timmy? Timmy.
But, seeing this, like, he's seeing all these Power Rangers, and he's like, such a missed opportunity. If only they knew they could have been gods.
Yeah.
And he's like showing that he's about to go into their world, and he like lifts his arm, and then you see all the ships and stuff. So I'm pretty sure, because we saw the Yellow Ranger in her buffed up armor. So he's not only going to go over there by himself, but he's going to have all the Power Rangers that
From
he was his world that he was able to recruit. Because I'm sure some resisted.
Yeah. Well, they all died.
Yes, because he is king of those worlds.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited. Like I'm keeping an eye on Comixology. That's where I'm gonna read all my stuff. I don't know if I want to get paperback for this or if I want to go digital. Probably digital, because that's where the world is today.
Yeah, the only way I would do it would get like the first issue to be signed. You know, like by JDF.
Yeah, I mean, I may end up doing that because
his signature costs much money.
Jeez, I got a pop figure signed, and
Did you charge you for both?
I spent a pretty penny.
Oh,
well, not nearly as much as Ashlyn spent on Malfoy.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you this: when we make it, I won't ever charge anybody for a signature.
I will never.
I'm just not going to do it.
I'll charge to go to a con.
Oh yeah. The con will pay me, but I'm not going to charge for a signature.
Oh no.
It's like an author. Like Timothy Zahn has never charged me for an autograph.
No, I mean he's charged me for a book.
Yeah,
like, I bought the book.
He's not going to give you a book for free.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Like, you know, I've brought books in for him to sign. Didn't charge me anything.
I know.
Not saying that you know that a lot of places, a lot of cons, they have to make their money, or they won't be asked back. Like they have like a like you'll be paid this much if you don't make that money, and like you usually easily pass that, but it's their kind of like cushion of, okay, you're going to make some money this weekend, but if you make past that, you won't get that sort of deal, and it just kind of like solidifies like that you are worth being paid and brought in and everything.
Now, I wonder if that would hurt you in the long run, because with you not paying for autographs, the con's going to have to dish out more money, and you're going to lose more cons because you're giving your stuff away for free.
I think like if you sold merchandise, you know, like our shirts or whatever like that, you know, like that would be. I don't want to charge anybody for a signature though. Yeah.
What about a picture?
I don't know. It'd have to be a pretty cool picture for me to charge anybody for.
Yeah, like I just
like if they brought their own stuff, man, I'll sign it. I don't care.
Yeah, like I mean, we'd obviously have prints we would sell, but like I would never want to be the kind of person that would charge $80 for a signature and then $80 for a picture. That's what Ashlyn had to pay Mr. Malfoy.
Really? So
she dropped
$160.
I can't remember the exact price, but I know it was closer to the $200 that she spent.
No, I'd be like, Mel Gibson killed you for a reason.
I don't see him as Lucius Malfoy. I see him as what he really is.
I couldn't do it, man. Like,
I mean, I just.
Like the few times we've had that sort of interaction, man, it's the best feeling in the world. It's my wants your picture, your signature.
I remember the first time it ever happened was at wasn't it Fandom
Con, yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, you know, you guys may blow up. We want to get y'all's autograph." And
well, we had somebody that had watched our stuff that wanted a picture with us to like show to their friends and everything.
I was like, "Cool."
So I was like, "Cool."
And then,
like I don't know, like that's just one of those things. Is like I understand why people do it, but it's just one of those things that's like, it's your signature. You've been doing it all your life. It's not, you know, it's not like it's going to turn into gold and I get to sell that gold.
Yeah. Like, you know, I'll, like, you know, if we ever did go to a con and they were like, you know, if you don't make your money, you know, we'll give you $1,000. I'm going to be like, well, you're going to give me that $1,000 because I'm not going to be charging for signatures. So I mean, I'm sure you'd have to talk to them and kind of work something out.
You know, but like we've got different T-shirts designs and everything like that, so that would be the way to make the money.
Yeah,
you know, Sweet Jesus T-shirt available on teespring.com/nerdcave. So there you go. So we saw that. Speaking of comics,
yes,
and then we had yesterday Deadpool 2 drop its trailer, a new trailer. We've already seen one or two. I don't know how many.
I think there's been a few.
Where we see more of the plot details of the story. Because so far we've only seen like Cable showing up and then Ryan Reynolds, just talking or whatever. So we saw all of that where, Deadpool is trying to save this kid. Don't really know what the kid is about. Like what
we see that he does have powers. So
that he has powers. Yeah. And that Cable wants him.
Yes.
To kill him.
Yes, that's what I've gathered.
Yeah, what we gathered, or taking back the future or something. I don't murder him. I don't know. So there's some significance to him and the future, because that's where Cable's from.
Yes,
I miss his big Jerry curls from
the old school,
the like '90s X-Men, like the big Jerry curls that they had.
He definitely got a perm.
Yeah. With that, we see the forming of the X-Force.
Yes.
And I'm sure that Jeremy Branch is like ecstatic
because
because X-Force is like one of his favorite comics.
And I don't know if he was covered in dust, but I did see like a gray Deadpool, like his armor and everything was gray, which if I recall right, I never got big into X-Force. In X-Force he had a gray costume. Like it was the same make, but it was just gray instead of red.
I don't remember.
But like I said, I think I saw that, and I don't know if that's going to be in the movie or not. But it could have just.
Well, he looked really dusty, so it might just be their way to homage it or whatever. But it looks funny. It starts out really, really funny. We definitely get the quips breaking the fourth wall and all of that. It looks like they are upping the ante on this movie, which I am very excited about. Bringing in new characters. You have Domino. You have Teenage something.
Oh, Atomic. Yeah.
Yeah, all of those people. You can go look it up. We're not that nerdy.
We're pretty nerdy.
We're pretty nerdy, but not about X-Force. So we get all of these new characters and everything. I love that.
Oh yeah.
That we're essentially not adding new mutants, which I guess it doesn't matter at this point because Disney owns all of that.
Oh yeah.
So we're getting more mutants in the storyline and everything. Cable looks awesome.
Oh my God, he looks freaking amazing.
He looks scary.
Which
that's what he should be.
I about to say, yeah. I mean, he metal arm, metal eye. Like he's supposed to be an imposing figure.
Metalocalypse.
Yes.
Did you ever watch that show?
No. Well, yes, actually, I did.
Yeah.
You go ahead and do it.
What?
You look. You got that facetious look in your eye. You want to do
Dr. Roxo?
But I think Deadpool 2 is going to be funnier than the first one.
Yeah.
I to see him bounce different things off of the new people, like in the backseat Domino, like him and
the cab driver.
The cab driver going back and forth, and she's like, "I wished I would have finished college." Like, I'm just excited for it because I know it's our friend Luke's. It's his favorite superhero. So I know Luke is going to be excited, and I'm going to be excited to go watch it because it's a good time.
I remember, like, in the first year of the show, Luke sent in a question, will there ever be a Deadpool movie? And I was like, no, there'll never be a Deadpool movie. Ever. Like, there will never be a Deadpool movie. And now we're getting the second one. And the first one did gangbusters. So, like, this is only going to go up because the first one, like, when you watch it, it's got language and all of that and, crude humor. But it did such a good job of, like, making that character, like, work.
Yeah.
And that's a hard character to make work because in the comics, anything's possible if you could draw it.
Yeah.
And put some words on the page. But, like, making it happen in a movie is much, much more difficult.
Movie magic. I mean, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Look at Howard the Duck. It didn't work out for him. Yep. Shudders down your spine.
Yeah. It literally did.
So we got that going on. We got Green Power Ranger, Jamora Lord,
the
Shattered Dimension.
Shattered Grid.
There you go, Shattered Grid. Constantine. If I don't know if you saw this or not.
Coming to Legends of Tomorrow to stay.
Yeah, he's going to be a season regular, which is awesome because Constantine's been bouncing around like nobody's business. He's been like a baby's dirty diaper. Nobody wanted him.
What I don't get, like, I guess when it was it Channel 5 or 15?
I think it was 10.
10. Like,
I can't remember.
when it went to that channel, I'm like, this is not.
Was it NBC?
I can't remember. I was like, this is not the channel for it. Like,
Yeah.
it's not going to thrive here because you have your old farts that want to watch NCIS. I don't want to watch Constantine.
Law and Order Special Victims Unit.
But I was like, I just feel like it's not going to thrive. And I've enjoyed Constantine.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, CW needs to have this.
Yeah.
I wish they would have. I mean, they wouldn't have been able to fit him into the rotation now. But I'm glad that he has a place because Constantine's such a cool character.
Yeah. Well, we saw him show up on Arrow first, and then we've seen him crop up a few other times. Didn't he have a Seed show, an animated Seed show?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he had that, and now he's going to. I'm assuming they'll keep the Seed show. I don't know if it's doing well or not, but now he's going to be season regular, and I think they need that freshness on the show. I haven't watched it, so
I haven't watched the past season. I'm behind on Flash, Arrow.
I haven't watched anything like
I'm
since
the crossover on Arrow and Flash, and I'm gonna one day watch Supergirl and Legends to get to that point.
Yeah.
Then watch the crossover in order, and then finish Arrow, Flash, Legends, Supergirl.
See, I finished the last season of Flash. I didn't finish the last season of Arrow because I'm not going past that. I watched the crossovers on the other shows, but that's going to be it. But you know, where Sylvester Stallone was the speedster in Flash, that was a pretty good season.
Sylvester Stallone.
I'm making a joke because I can't remember the guy's name. It was like Salvatore or something.
Tony Todd.
No,
that was Salvatore.
Yeah, Salvatore. Sylvester Stallone. Yo, Barry. Oh, if you didn't know, Barry is the Flash.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
One thing, going off of Deadpool and everything, Infinity War is coming out.
Yep.
Very soon. Do you think we're going to see any other people outside of the main Marvel cast? Like, are we going to see any of the mutants or anything like that?
Well, I don't know if you saw this week. There's hints that the Silver Surfer will be in Infinity War.
I have not seen that.
Yeah, so there's like some hints that he's going to be in the movie, which opens up the Fantastic Four to be in that series.
Because, I
don't think they show up.
I just want at least a mention of Charles Xavier or something, just so we know that they're in this world.
Mm-hmm.
Because with Disney, all of it's going to be one universe.
Yeah,
and
I think once Infinity War, and we might get a mention. Once Infinity War is over, that's when you start seeing them bringing in all of the new characters that they have acquisitioned and everything.
Because this huge end of the world event is going to happen, and there's no way you're not going to see.
Yeah, you wouldn't see, like, if they're in the same world, you wouldn't see the mutants just like sitting on their do-nothings.
Hey, Cap, y'all got this right? All right, cool.
Yeah, the trailer looked awesome.
Oh my gosh!
The trailer looked awesome. Like, it got me excited to go watch the movie because, like, yes, Black Panther looked
you up.
Like, Black Panther looked great. I do want to watch it. Thor Ragnarok looked funny, looked great. Want to watch it. I didn't go watch them. Like, either one of them. This one, I was like, I've got to go watch this in theaters.
We should go. Like, I mean, I'm so ready for it. Like, me and Jeremy, we talked about like, who do we think is gonna die? And
Hootie and the Blowfish.
Yes. Like, I talked. Mine was. I believe it could possibly be Captain America.
I think it's Captain and Tony.
You think it's gonna be both?
It's gonna be both of them, man. I think Thor dies too. Not just because, like, all of these guys, like, we've heard Chris Hemsworth talk about it. We've heard Chris
Evans.
Chris Evans. Like, Chris Hemsworth has talked about how hard it is to continually put his body into that shape for the role and everything. I think you're going to see a lot of the cast that has built this universe Go into the sunset.
And I think that's when we're going to see. We've seen Falcon, in the comics take over for Captain America.
Well, Bucky's still around too because he took over.
Bucky is all, but I don't think with what happened with, like him killing Tony's parents, with everything like that.
Well, if Tony's dead, what does it matter?
That is true. So I mean, I could see it either being any of those two, and we've even T'Challa's little sister. She's like the tech person behind all their stuff for Wakanda. And like we saw near the end when there's a huge battle, she has these like cannon things that she's shooting repulsors.
Yeah, because they did have recently.
In the comic, it went and she had like the little circle bobs on her head, like for her hairdo. And I'm like, in the comic, it was an African American female with that same hairdo. And I'm like, that could just be 100%.
Yeah, it could have been
coincidental.
The comic side, like testing the waters out of that happening.
And Thor, when Jane Foster took over as Thor, it was received well as well. And, even with Bucky and Falcon taking over as Cap, they were received well. And I haven't seen much of the new Iron Man. I guess she's still.
I think it switched back over
to Iron Woman.
No, I think it switched back over to Tony. Yeah,
like potentially it could. I mean, I know people are going to die in this one, and I am trying to prepare myself for whatever could happen. But
those are the three that I think are almost guaranteed at this point. At least Tony and Captain America.
Yeah.
Like I really feel like they're going to be done off in the sunset.
I think because what I told Jeremy is I think one of them dies in the first movie.
Well, there's not a two-parter anymore. It's all one.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. It's no longer a two-parter.
Oh. Well, then first half of the movie, like, because, Tony saw all this happen when he when he touched the mind or whatever. So I think, the first part of the movie, something's going to happen, and he's going to sacrifice himself to give everybody else a chance to get away, regroup.
I think it's the opposite. I think Captain sacrificed himself.
That's what I told Jeremy, but I'm like Jeremy, spun in a way where I can understand it because we saw in the first Captain America movie when he threw the dummy grenade, everybody else ran, but Cap jumped on it and told everybody to get away, get away. First Captain America movie.
Yeah.
So
the first Avenger.
Yeah. So I could definitely see either one of them, but you also got to look at Tony's side of things. Iron Man 1, he was as self-centered. It's all about me. Could care less about anybody else. And throughout Iron Man 2 and all these other events,
he's grown.
You've seen him become more selfless. And Jeremy talked about how this is the most selfless thing he can do. Story can be made for either one of them to be the ones to bite the bullet.
Like I'm curious to see how the fight between Captain America and Thanos goes.
Because you saw him hold his hand back. Man, there's a lot. And then you see the Battle of Wakanda.
Yeah. Man, there was somebody posted a picture of, oh, Lord, what is that character's name? Vision, like wearing a beanie. He's like, yeah, I haven't seen it. Trust me.
Soul Gym? Or no, it's not the Soul Gym.
I don't remember what he was like.
I haven't seen no
I haven't seen it. Trust me. It was hilarious.
I wonder if he can function without.
That's what made him sentient.
Exactly. Like I don't know. I mean, it's going to be weird to see what happens because I think he gets all of them at one point.
Yeah, he's definitely going to get them all. Like he's it's a very small version of Pokemon, but he's going to collect them all.
Oh yeah, and could we also see Vision die in this one?
I can see him definitely like going, but I see him coming back. Like he's only had one movie really, so I don't think they get rid of that character because a lot of people like that character.
Yeah, I thought it was really, really well done.
What is it, Bentley? What is his last name?
The actor
Paul something. I don't know. Paul Giamatti.
No, it's not Paul Giamatti. But
Big fat liar. Came out on my birthday. No, Snow Day came out on my birthday. I remember. I was like,
big fat liar.
I was like, we've got to go watch Snow Day on my birthday back in the 90s. If you haven't watched Snow Day, go check it out. It came out
Big Fat Liar.
February. I think Big Fat Liar came out on my birthday as well. February 8th.
It's funny. This guy at work, he was talking about how he has some money. He's like, yeah, I've turned my house. He's like, I've turned it into a complete smart house, and I went straight to the 90s Disney,
Like the smart house with the.
I'm like, I didn't want to be like super nerdy. I'm like, I was like, that's really cool because like he has iPads in each room to control like all the different things, and in my head I'm like,
just watch
say don't tick off that AI, she'll lock you in. And,
and well,
don't bring another woman into the house with that AI, she get jealous.
Well, as long as it's not Alexa. I was waiting for it. You know, because that's all voice command and everything.
Yeah,
that's what it gets you. Blank Check. That was probably one of my favorite ones. Was Blank Check.
Smart House was up there for me. I really liked it because I like the tech side of things.
I like Smart House, but Blank Check because like he had that huge video wall and he had all those toys and everything. Like that was just such a good one.
It was.
Motocrossed. That was a good one where the girl was riding.
Yep.
That was a good one. Alley Cats.
What was it? 13th Year.
13th Year, where he was a mermaid or merman. Like that was a good one.
Like I think Disney movies Disney original movies have went down since the 90s.
Do they even make them?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Luck of the Irish with Lassie.
Oh, Lassiter. Every time I see Lassiter in anything, I just think of
the 13th
he's a leprechaun.
Yeah. What was that other one? Yeah, because they had like the river dance. Brink was a good one. Trying to remember. I don't think it was a Disney Channel movie. It was like the two brothers that like had to go like to a camp and like were camp counselors. It was Chris Paul, not Chris Paul. Guy who was in the Fast and Furious.
Paul Walker.
Paul Walker. It had him and is it the Dudley brothers? I think it was the.
I can't remember.
Not the Dudley brothers. Those are
my
wrestlers.
My mind for some reason is going to Camp Rock.
No, not Camp Rock.
Oh,
Lord
I know.
God, no.
Trying to think. I mean, for what it was, I enjoyed the Lizzie McGuire movie.
I didn't really watch it.
Flubber
wasn't a Disney Channel movie, but they played it all the time. That was a good movie.
Oh yeah, there was a ton of really good movies. And how did we get on this tangent?
I don't know.
But I like it.
You're talking about smart houses, and we just kind of went from there.
But back to Infinity War.
Yeah.
We should set up a day and go see it.
Yeah. You get mani pedis. Go watch Infinity War.
Totes.
Speaking of mani pedis, I went and pampered myself, treated myself.
Okay.
As they would say on the Parks and Rec, treat yourself. 2018. Wednesday, I went, got a massage.
Oh.
I needed it because apparently I got a lot going on. Like since since I conduct a lot, like I've had like my muscles are like some of my muscles in my back are like that kind of gives. It's kind of like pushing against like metal, like it's so tight back there.
Oh wow!
Because it's just like set and like the lactic acid hadn't been pulled out and everything. So like getting massage and everything. I'm sitting in these chairs doesn't help. Sitting in any of these chairs where you have to like lean and all of that. That's something we got to fix. But anyway, definitely felt like floaty afterwards, like which was a good feeling. Mm-hmm. But she used the suction cup, like a suction cup thing.
She puts like a lighter in it and she sets it on the back and it pulls.
Well, it was that sort of thing, but it was like a machine just went.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And like instead of like digging and like having to really like it pulls like those fibers and everything and starts getting everything to flush because there's toxins and everything that sit in all of that. Anyway, it was great. I enjoyed it a lot. I've been sore a lot.
You will.
So I'm hoping in the next few weeks I can go again so I can start getting all of that worked out of my shoulders and everything because I didn't like I have felt it, but it'll go away. Your brain does a lot of things to like suppress a lot of stuff.
Yes, it does.
But when somebody starts working on you, you're like, man, I didn't know that was there. Like
I didn't know I could feel this good.
Yeah, or like, oh my Lord, that hurts so much. But like it was very good. It was totally different than the one that in Vancouver where the little lady like jumped up on the table and acted like Macho Man Randy Savage, just like dropping elbows on me and like karate chopping me and everything. But it was very nice to get some pampering, some me time, as people would say. So
it's always good to treat yourself a little bit.
And then I treated my wife to a new couch.
Happy anniversary, birthday, Christmas,
everything, baby.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Well, when you promise somebody they're getting a couch, you gotta make it happen.
You gotta make it happen.
Happy wife, happy life.
I'm learning.
Yes, you will learn. That we're working on our first year, but you learn very fast.
Oh, I do, cause like I did a no-no. I was talking to Aaron at church because I really want to get back heavily into doing church music at church. So I took a bass amp from the church, and I took our cajon. So a cajon is the drum you can sit on and play.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I took those home so I can brush back up on everything because I'm going to teach some of the younger people in our church how to play bass, how to play cajon, so we can have like a little church band. And I was like, once I get brushed up, I didn't talk to Holly about it, and I feel bad. And I was like, I'll pick one night a week, and I'll come up here and for like an hour, and I'll like 1 week I'll show somebody how to do something, and then each week we'll learn more and more. And she got in the car, and I could tell she was a little
miffed.
I was like, "Baby, what's the matter?" She's like, "I just wished you would, talk to me about stuff like that first." Man. And I'm like, I went on. I told her, and essentially it was just the truth. When you're used to being lone wolf, you're used to, and that's how I've always been. And we were pretty much the same. And ideas in our head, and we go.
And I trust me, that is something that I've had to work extremely hard on. Still not 100% on it, but it definitely takes time, and like just being conscious, like because now you're of one flesh with another.
Exactly, and like I was talking to Luke about buying his super nice bass amp, and like before I committed, I was like, "Let me talk to the wife."
Oh yeah,
and he was like, my man's learning.
Like you don't want to get in the camera situation that I got in before I was even married, man.
So, it's a learning process. And one night after we recorded, the day I had that headache when we were doing Nerd Cave and Dragons, she was out with a friend, and I texted her. I was like, "Hey, I'm on the way home." I was like, I just got a bad headache. And I went home, and I was like, I'm just going to take my medicine. I'm going to lay down for like 15 minutes. And like, I woke up 3 hours later to my phone had
blown
like
up.
four missed calls and a bunch of messages. And I heard like Holly in the kitchen, and I was like, I walked in, I was like, "Hey, baby." And it's just, little things like that. Needed to make sure and what we've done is, on the iPhones, like you can ping where the person is. Yeah. So she saw that I was at home, so she wasn't like super mad. But she was like not mad, but she wasn't as upset because she could see where I was. But it's still the fact that you gotta talk. It's
all about communication.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen this. It's like somebody posted on Twitter. It's like, I don't understand how guys can't say they can't communicate when they can talk on video games and like it's life or death with their friends.
And I will say that surprisingly, that's something I found out. Holly's not a gamer, but she will sit there like when I play PUBG or now when I'm playing Sea of Thieves. Like I tell my friends, I was like, "You're going to echo just a little bit," but I turn my volume up to like, because volume goes through my headset, but I turn the TV volume up to about 6, so it's not super bad echo. Because Holly likes to hear our banter going back and forth.
Yeah.
And she loves watching me play PUBG, which is super nice because it's bonding, but like not.
I get what you're saying.
So I mean that's a nice little plus. In there.
It's all about learning, man.
Oh yeah.
And not to get deep in the weeds, start playing Fortnite.
I want to try it. I have it on PlayStation.
I like it.
You like it better than PUBG?
Oh yeah, like hands down. Like, I enjoy Fortnite way more.
I think I'm still gonna really enjoy PUBG more.
Like it's a totally different game.
Yeah,
like it's totally different. Like Fortnite is way more fast paced than PUBG. Quick story. I told this on Nerd Cave Plus. So my last game yesterday, like right the very end of one game to this game, my controller acted weird. The game lagged. I'm like, okay. So I get into the next game. Controller is like crazy. Like I'm pressing. I got my handy dandy controller here for the audio listeners. I press up, and then I move. And I'm like, oh Lord. So I'm like, okay, where's the circle? And I'm playing Blitz, so the circle condenses really quick in Blitz. So I like land like somewhere in the circle. I'm like, all right. And I like got up on top of a hill by a tree and just crouched. And the whole game, like during that, like I'm getting I'm not playing. I can't play. So like I'm not going to quit because I couldn't get to the quit. It was just acting all crazy. So I start pulling, articles from Derek and everything, start putting them all together for Nerd Cave Plus. And nobody's killing me. Nobody's killed me. I'm just going to wait until somebody kills me. It gets smaller and smaller. We're down to like 50 people. Still alive. Smaller and smaller. We're down to 20 people. I'm still alive. I'm still in the circle. And like, it must have been God. Like, like the circle just like kept me inside of it until like the last 10 people. I had to move just a little bit. So I went down the hill and I went behind a tree. I got down to the top 5 and didn't shoot a bullet. And the only reason I died at 4, I was top 4. Don't know how, man. I've been playing, I played several matches and got to down to the top 20 or whatever, but not shooting, not doing anything. I got to the top 4. So the circle got smaller and I had to move, and this guy just shot me. He kept shooting me. I'm like, I can't do anything. And then I died, but I was 4th in the game. I didn't do anything.
That's happened to us on PUBG. We were like, okay, we're gonna land here. We get looted up, and then the circle's on the other side of the map. So we're just constantly running, and we don't see anybody. And it's crazy, those games where you're just like, get me to the circle, and hardly ever fire a shot. And that's when you're like, oh, we're top 10 already, huh?
Yeah, I didn't plan on it. And there was a guy that was on another hill that was right across from me. I'm like, he sees me, comes up on the hill, past me, then comes down and goes away. I'm like, thank you, Garden Angels. But there you go. If you want to hear more video game stuff, you can check out our awesome video game podcast called Nerd Cave Plus. It's on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, just like this show, I think is now on Spotify as well. And the other services. Please go rate us, go subscribe there. If you are a YouTube watcher, hey, help us out, get us seen more on the podcast services. It helps us grow this whole show and everything by just going and putting a 5-star rating down there.
Yeah, and you can also go ahead and share the videos too, because the more people see us, you might have a friend who are into just random guys and a gal talking nerd stuff.
Yeah,
and
this show has pretty much just become us talking about nerdy things, which I like.
Oh yeah, reading articles and stuff, you kind of want to know what we're talking about a little bit, but I like just the off-the-cuff stuff, hey, man, did you hear about this?
Yeah.
I mean,
I
that's
love
the
it.
best.
Yeah.
Non-scripted stuff. I
was talking about Disney Channel movies. I know we've talked about it several times in the past, but It never gets old.
It doesn't.
Never gets old. So you can check that out. If you want the show early, though, you can go over to patreon.com/nerdcave. Get the show audio format early. You can get the video format early as well. You can get access to all of our seasonal content 1 week early before it goes live for everybody else.
And that's just one single $1.
Yes.
When we also have higher tiers, 5, 10, 15, all the way
So
up.
forth, all the way up to, I think, 100 is our top tier.
And, if you donate just $5, we do monthly drawings.
Mm-hmm.
You can win like a Nerd Cave t-shirt or like a prize or something like that.
Yeah, and we'll have a drawing for the first quarter, so we'll be giving 3 things away for 3 different people.
Yeah.
At the end of this month, we're going to have a drawing for the first quarter.
Yeah.
I think that's the easiest way, so we can just ship everything out at
one
once.
time.
So if you are a $5 supporter over on Patreon or higher, you get entered into the raffle part of the giveaways and everything. So we got a huge box over in the closet that has all of our giveaway stuff. So we'll be sending out our giveaway stuff. We might even do some kind of video or whatever. I'm not going to promise anything, but we will send out quarter one's giveaway stuff. So we'll have something for each month, February, March, and January.
And just so you understand, because I know a lot of people might not understand what Patreon is, if you do the $5 tier, you get $5 and the $1 tier. If you do 10, you get 10 and down. So it accumulates.
Yeah, it stacks. It's like a scaffolding.
Yes.
Like a scaffolding.
Scaffolding.
Yeah.
Yes.
And thanks to all of the people that do support us over there.
Oh, yeah.
It is like a subscription service, like to Netflix or whatever you want to say. It helps us do so many things at the Nerd Cave. Helps us, keep our business license up to date, which is fixing to happen.
I know. We're about to have to drop a pretty penny on business license stuff.
Yeah, and it's helped us build the set and everything. So it helps all of our process that we've got to do here, because if it was cheap and easy to do this, it'd be much easier to do it that way, but we like making everything look really, really good. So
just for you.
Yeah, just for you. And shout out to our Patreon producer, Caleb Palmer, that went over to patreon.com/nerdcave, supported us at the Patreon producer level, and gets shout out in every single episode.
Is he also a seducer?
He might be a producer/seducer.
Because that's the only producer that I like to deal with.
So Nick Scarpino. So there you have it, everybody. There is episode 240 of the Nerd Cave podcast. We hope that you enjoyed the show. This has been Zach.
And Robbie.
Have a blessed week.